One beautiful day. Let me just say that. Today is so pretty outside. And I'm just kind of sitting here waiting for Eco Neighbor to come out. But if you are catching the replay on this, hello. If you are here in person, hello to you. But if you're catching the replay, let us know where you're tuning in from, and let us know what your day is like. Whatever grows on you're in, let us know what your day is like in your city. But here, we're in Tallahassee right now. It is perfect. It is beautiful. It's still a little bit too cool to walk around, you know, in our normal flip-flops and shorts and things, but it is a really pretty day here today. So hello to all. Hey Shakira, how you doing? Good to see you today. Man, hey Green Grass Girls, how you doing? Good to see you. It's so pretty here today. Are you getting snow, Green Grass Girls? Hey Cheryl Faulkner, how are you doing today? Good to see you. Hey Aoki, I missed you. How you doing? Hello Roots to a Garden, how are you today? So good to see you. I'm gonna have to, I should have actually set my alarm for probably 30 minutes so that I can, when the alarm goes off, I can get off of here. So I gotta stop at 30 minutes because I still have some things that I gotta do today. And I didn't want this to be any longer than, you know, maybe between 15 and 30 minutes. No snow, it's about 50 degrees. Okay, well, shoot, you got it like we got it then. It should be nice. It's really nice. Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody coming in the chat. Good to see you guys. Hi, Nicole Smith Garden. How you doing? Good to see you. Hi, Brother Lawrence. How you doing? Good to see you. I wanted to, you know, I always have, you know, my opinion about things. And so I wanted to know. Hold on, guys. Let me plug in so the phone does not go unexpectedly dead on me. Hopefully Eco Neighbor will be out in a few minutes because the phone is kind of sort of sitting in the sun. But anyway, I titled this video, Did You Learn Anything? For a couple of reasons. One reason was, if you saw my last live stream where I was talking about the video that Led Farmer did, where we're talking about purchasing land, etc. I wanted to know, did you really truly learn anything? Because I told you all that Eco Neighbor and I are going to be putting out some videos. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff surrounding the land buying process. And so we've bought homes, we've bought land, but I'm like, some days I get to the point where I'm just like, I feel like I am really talking to myself. And I feel like it does not matter what I say. It does not matter how much information we give. It's almost like it will fall on deaf ears regardless. And so I'm trying to figure out, like, should we really keep doing this? Should we really keep doing this? Like, is there really anybody who wants to know this information? Because I'm feeling like you all listen more to the people who are not doing anything. And it's like you all champion the people who are not doing anything other than entertaining. And y'all champion the people because they're on the same level with you. And it's almost like when somebody comes into the comment, it comes into the comment section, and they make a comment that you agree with, even if the comment is going to be detrimental to you. It's like, I don't understand why people are championing the comments when you know that it's going to be detrimental to you. When you know that you're not going to get what you want. Hold on. Let me adjust myself. It's like when you know you're not going to get what you want by listening to those people, but because you don't want to hear it from who is giving you the information, giving you the message, then you celebrate the people who are leading you down a slippery slope, and you on a banana peel at the same time. So for that reason, we're going to get more. We're going to get more organized in how we do things, because talking to people who don't want the information, they are the ones who will actually come in and leave comments. And then it's like the ones who are listening because you can relate to what they're saying, rather than you learning from the information that you don't already know. You go towards what is the incorrect information. And so are we just like, I'm gonna just be honest with you, on some days I'm really like, my time is up, because I can be really touching one or two people in a more personal setting and getting them growth and getting them development and getting them land or houses or whatever it is that they want. I can just be giving those people the information, but I'm like, you know, my husband has to kind of talk me down sometimes, because he's just like, you know, yeah, you will have those. You will have those type of people who want people to remain in debt, or who want people to stay on the same level that they feel like they're on together. They don't want to see anybody else grow, so they'll talk negatively in order to keep those people on the same level that they're on. But then there are others who will be in the background, who will be listening to the information, that actually take it and use it. They'll actually take that information and they will actually utilize the information. They'll actually put it into action. And then next thing I know, here's somebody in the inbox saying, hey, we just bought 5 acres. We just bought our first acre ever in life. And we're over 55. But we want to be at a point where we're not having to say, hey, y'all, you know, share this information with other people. We want to be at a point where we're not having to say that if you know that the information is helpful. Sammy Joe, hey Sammy Joe, how are you doing? Sammy Joe said, I heard your talk. It was spot on. I'm always in the bushes. That video was great. Keep preaching. The one that needs to hear it will hear it. Well, thank you for that, Sammy Joe. Hold on. Let me let the shaky shake stop. We can just like see somewhere. You're making some good points. Okay. I learned a lot between you. Eco, and Led. Well, thank you for that, Brother Lawrence. Urban Gardening Chronicle said, I have been listening to you and Eco's journey, and I've taken notes and learned from your tips. We here listening. Okay. And see, that's what Eco be saying. He be like, you know, the people who really serious, they in the background. They're in the background. You have a lot of others who like to hear themselves, you know, or see themselves talk, or just try to get a response out of somebody else, which is what I'm seeing the most, is that there are some people who like to get a response out of other people. They know what they're saying is not, they know what they're saying is not what people like to hear, but because people are so used to toxicity, they will beam in on those things. They'll beam in on the certain comments, and it's like, I don't like to delete people's comments, but I honestly feel like I'm going to have to start doing that, especially when I know that the comment is going to be detrimental to people's growth. I try to be that content creator that allows people to have their opinion, you know, to have their little freedom of speech, because we just don't have it as a whole in the world anymore. Not just this country, but even in the world anymore. We don't have that freedom of speech as a whole. So I try to allow people, you know, unless it's just something just totally disrespectful. But I'm starting to get to the point where I'm taking that as disrespect. I'm starting to get where, to me, those comments where people are just trying to steer people away from growing more than them, I'm starting to take that as disrespect. Hi, my Renaissance grandma. How are you doing? Okay, she said listening but not watching the chat. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Hi, Cherry. Wait a minute. Cherie Cherry. Hello, how are you doing? Had to look at that again. But I really wanted to say that for one. Hi, Lisa Williams. How you doing, sis? Hi, October Opal. Hello, how are you? I wanted to say that for one, but I've also been like really stuck on this bank closing thing. I don't know about y'all, but that is like really scary to me. I'm not one of them people that have a whole lot of money in the bank, but what I have is because, you know, I put in the effort and the energy and the sweat to get it there. And so, hi, Yankee sister, how you doing? Hello, sweetie. GG Naturals Homestead and G Tribe. Hello. Hi, Miss Pamela Wilson. How are you doing? I learned a lot from listening to your knowledge and wisdom. Your info is useful. Those that have ears to hear, keep on doing what you're doing. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Miss Pamela. But I've been looking at these banks, and I'm like, what are we supposed to do? So we were at a point where people were saying, don't put your money under your mattress. But now I'm looking at these people and I'm like, shoot, would you have been better off if you put your money up under a mattress? Because from my understanding, and I don't have a great understanding on it, but from what I've learned so far by listening to the millionaires over the last couple of days, was that some people got their money back, and then some people are going to have to wait for a while. So you had people who were going to get their money. And let me tell you something that frustrates me about these institutions. And this is why I'm always talking about capitalism, because it don't care about nobody. So you have these people who are taking your money and they are investing 90% of your money that is sitting in the bank for safekeeping. They're investing 90% of your money. And we, Biko Neighbor and I, got this from the horse's mouth, that this is what they do. We got this from an actual banker that we were sitting and talking to one day. So I'm not saying anything that is what I think. I'm just telling you what we got from the horse's mouth. That they are investing that money, our money, they're investing it. And how much are they giving you back from the investment that they made? And then they'll have the nerve, to tell you when you go into your bank where your money is sitting, that you can't get your money. We got back peanuts. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you're sitting your money in these places and they giving you 0.5%. And if you mess around and reduce the amount of money that you have in there, you get even less than that. So you're getting pennies back while they are making billions on your money. You got to make a decision on, and this is why I'm like, always be learning, always be using your time, always be using your investment money to learn about this stuff. Because if I had known better years ago, I would have been investing in something that was different. But this is why we invest in land. This is why we're taking that money and we're buying what we can buy as it relates to land. Because guess what? Your investment is going to give you so much more than you getting those peanuts back from the bank. The bank percents are ridiculously very low, very extremely low. Then they charge us to keep our money. And then they do little tricks and things in order to try to make you overdraft, because that's where they get money from. Those places that have the free banking accounts. Yes, banks are for-profit businesses. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Miss Native. Hey, Lovelace. So this whole thing is a game. And we have to learn. We have to educate ourselves and learn how to play the game properly. We aren't learning how to play the game properly. And so we're staying stagnant. We're staying at the same spots. We're staying at the same places year after year after year. And then we're looking at other people and wondering, like, how in the world did they just go to Mars? And I'm still here at the same little ran down raggedy place where I was 10 years ago. We got to keep learning. We have to keep on learning. I pull half my money out, only keeping in what I need to. Great strategy. And then the other half, guess what? It better be diversified. It better not be in one bank. You see what just happened with this bank? The FDIC had to take that bad boy over. So if that bank was not FDIC insured, then guess what? Your money is gone. Look for that. Look for that label. We had to learn that by ourselves. Nobody told us about the NCUA for credit unions. They didn't tell us about the FDIC for banks that will, if something happens, they'll back your money and make sure that you get your money back. So we got to have ears open, and we have to be constantly learning. We got to be consistently learning. I have a friend here in Tallahassee who is a banker. And I don't know if she would be willing to come on camera or not because of what she does, but I am going to be asking questions. I'm going to be asking questions now because there's so much more that we have to know that is going to help us to not be in the same spot year after year after year. And I need for people to really stop championing these people who don't want to see you grow. And y'all are smart. Y'all smart people. So you know when somebody is just making a hater ass comment. You know the difference between somebody who is trying to give information and somebody who is trying to help you versus somebody who is just trying to tell you, nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You ain't gonna get no better. You're not gonna do any different. All of us gonna be on the same spot anyway. You can put all that work into it all you want to, but you ain't gonna get no better. You can't take it with you. You don't know what those children gonna do with it. Who cares? They won't have to start at the bottom. Who cares what they decide that they're going to do with it? It's theirs at that point. When we're gone, it's theirs. So make it a point to I don't care if it's every day or if it's every week. Be educating yourself on something that's going to help you. Be educating yourself on something that's going to make sure that you're not in the same spot next year that you were in this year. That's why people keep having to make resolutions. That's why they keep having to make New Year's resolutions, because it's like the same resolution all over again. But when you're setting goals, then guess what? All through the year, you got new goals because you're crushing them. You're crushing them all through the year. Urban Gardener Chronicles said, I'm not leaving a lot of money in banks once I get a certain amount, buying assets and keep and repeat. Knowledge is our power. Got to use our noodles. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Save as much cash as possible and keep it in safe places. Never all in one place. Never, ever, 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 ever. Never. You and Eco on the right track. I wouldn't put my money under my mattress. Put my money on, wait a minute. I put my money in a hole in the ground after I bought the land I'm digging it on. All right, Sammy Joe. But also then you got to make sure that you protect it, because even if you put it in the ground, mold and all of that other stuff will eat it up. Bugs will eat it up, all kind of stuff. So yeah, you got to protect it either way. Once you deposit money in your bank, your money becomes the bank's money to invest. Yeah. Yep. And guess what? They ain't gonna give you hardly none of it. So it's on you to, at this point, we have the internet at our disposal. One thing that me and my husband always talk about is that our kids are so fortunate to have the internet at their disposal so that they can learn all of this stuff. There's things that I'll ask my kids questions and they'll be like, oh yeah, I already know that. I already learned that. I learned that from such and such, or from this show or from that show. And I'm like, dang, I didn't even realize that you watch something like that. But if you're having the conversation, that's how some people are so far advanced. That's how some of them are so far advanced, because their conversations around the dinner table are just so different. They're so different. Anybody read Rich Dad, Poor Dad? The conversations were so different from one home to the next. So we have to be that way. We have to get information from people who we know are looking out for our best interests, and stop with the mindset where, oh yeah, that, oh, he told her or she told her or they told her, so I'm gonna like this. It just makes you look not that smart. And it keeps your mindset in a place where you're doing not smart things. And so guess what you're not going to get to? That house and that land, because you steady focused on people who don't want you to do any more than they have done. So let me say this. When you start seeing comments like some of the comments that you'll see when somebody is trying to help, and then you have somebody else that comes in with a offhanded comment, or a comment that you know people are going to like because it sounds good, but it's one of those comments that are going to stop people from growing. When you start to see those types of comments, ask them a question. Ask them questions. Because you can quickly get down to the bottom of what their intent is if you start asking questions. I guarantee you those people are going to get real offended when you start asking them what do they have. When you start asking them how did what they do help them advance, I guarantee you they're going to start getting real offended. They're going to start getting real slick. Because then you're going to be challenging where they are and what they're doing. See, the difference is, I don't mind you asking me questions because I want you to grow. I want more people to buy land. You think I want these people who are trying to control everybody to buy all the land? I don't want them buying the land. I want y'all buying the land. I want more of it. Shoot, if I can get 4 20-acre tracts, then guess what? I'm going for it. If I can get them. Or if I could just get one big tract, I'm going for it. But if I can leave one, even, I don't care if it's just an acre each. If I can leave my kids an acre each, so that they could do whatever they will with their acre, I'm good. Hey, Miss Maria. How are you doing, Miss Maria Graham? My uncle buried lots of cash in the ground. It molded and rotted. It was a lot. My dad told me all about that happened. I called it justice. You read that book, Yankee Sister? It was a really good one. Sammy Joe said, it takes money to make money, and they are taking ours and making lots. Not mine. Said I ain't taking yours, Sammy Joe. Yes, it absolutely is going to cost you something. You're going to have to sacrifice something. And the world that we live in, it takes money. It takes money to live. So use those skills that you have. If you can't go and get a full-time job or whatever, then guess what? Use a skill that you have and sell things. People love your creativity. That's why people are drawn to you. They're drawn to you because of your uniqueness and your creativity, and because of your discipline. So if you can put yourself in a position where you're using your skill and you're selling whatever it is that you can make or that you can acquire or that you have on hand. If we listen, we were selling batteries. We were selling old batteries. We were selling old metal, cans, pea cans for the us in the South. We were selling whatever we could get our hands on in order to get to where we wanted to be. We hit one of our big goals, which was getting 20 acres and having it actually paid for. Now, you may not be able to have it actually paid for cash in the beginning, but guess what you can do? Our first one, we weren't able to pay cash for it because we didn't have that kind of money. So what overheating? My phone was overheating, guys. I got it in front of the AC right now, so it'll cool down. But am I back, guys? Am I back now? Okay, we back. Okay, great. So, dang, I forgot what I said. Forgot what I was saying now. But if you, we were selling. I was talking about we were selling stuff. We were selling whatever. We were selling any and everything that we could get our hands on. Sorry, y'all. I'll be still in just a second. All right. Okay. I think we're in a much better place now. Let's get the air pointed to the phone. But we were selling everything that we possibly could get our hands on in order to get to where we were going. And what I was saying is that we didn't have the money in the beginning to be able to buy property outright.
What's up, Shy?
Hey, Shy.
Shy knows it.
Okay. Hi, Jamal. That's a set of pretty cool points. They're trying to save to buy an adjacent lot. Ooh, that would be so good. That would be so good if you could buy that. I don't think the people next to us are gonna sell that 20 acres, but because it's been in their family for a long time. So I don't know if they're gonna sell it, but man, I would love that. I would love that. Shakir said, I feel like people who get offended by you asking questions have something to hide. It's possible. But I guarantee you, start asking them questions when they come in with those comments that are going to try to keep you at the same level with them. Those I don't want to see you grow. I don't want to see nobody else grow because I ain't did nothing comments. Start asking them questions and then see how they respond to you if they respond.
Can I say one thing?
Yes. Did you have your finger on the mic? No. Miss Natum, no. Y'all can't hear me? The sound is bad? Oh, I think it's just you, Miss Natum. Your last word. What we had to do is take our behinds back to work. Thank you, Lisa. We had to go to work in order to get that extra piece of land. We had to go to work. Miss Maria says, hi, Eco. I'm first generation, says Yankee sister. I'm first generation. What are you doing?
You see, y'all, the reason why I can't chat and be in the chat a lot of times.
Yeah, his phone. Look at that raggedy phone. Look at that.
And it takes me an hour to see. No, that ain't nothing.
I'm just messing.
Don't put that that negative. See,
No, it's
you
broken.
were just talking about that. You were just talking about that negative energy. That negative.
It broke. His phone is broken, y'all. So he wants to be able to chat and stuff with y'all, but he really can't because his phone is broken and it's a brand new phone, and so he having a hard time with trying to wrap his mind around just going ahead and buying another phone.
Not gonna happen. This is cold.
Oh, that's what's causing it. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I was trying to cool down the phone. Okay. And so I had the air blowing at it. But Yankee Sister said, I'm first generation to have a home to leave for my family. Started late in life. If we don't start generational wealth, it won't happen. Thank you, Yankee Sister. Thank you. Thank you. You have to start wherever you are. Start wherever you are. Don't worry about, where you are, where you're not. Just start somewhere. And that's all we did. Am I still staticky? Now it's good. Okay. This area has just been really, really bad with internet service. I apologize for that. But you gotta start where you are. When we bought that land, when we bought our first full acre of land, that was after we had a foreclosure, right?
They have lost everything.
Yes.
Lost
house, car.
Rental. Home.
Eco neighbor,
No,
come here.
I don't want to
You talking, so get on in here. I don't care. It's okay.
So,
wait, they know we on the move.
What we did is, because I was talking. What we did, so we lost, when I said we lost everything, we lost everything. We lost we had a rental home. We lost that. I was younger, I had cars. I had a lot of classic cars. Mm-hmm. And we used those classic cars to pay the bill. I would sell one classic car a month. And some of them was being restored. None of them was complete. But I would sell a classic car, so that'll let you know how many cars. Mm-hmm. A yard full of cars. And I would sell one on eBay to help cover the bills. And I still couldn't keep up. But then, like Gigi said, I would go out. And at that time, the economy is so bad, they wouldn't even hire me out at the place we were. I couldn't get a job. People that had jobs, they kept their jobs.
Yeah, 2008.
And they had the city that we were in. I lost all my contracts. I had good, solid contracts, school systems. I had government work. I had car dealerships that been handed down through generations. But Shy and some other people that's from the GA, they'll know, like Bill Hurd Chevrolet closed, contracts with Merck Pharmaceuticals, contracts with what's the other big, Cooper Tire. All those places was just closing. Mm-hmm. And you talking about thousands of jobs that was just people without jobs. Mm-hmm. I couldn't even get on at a grocery store, working part-time. And so I went to eco mode where I started riding around. I might have $10, $15 worth of gas, and I would go take that 10, 15 and go try to, I said, how much we need today? We need a little grocery, we need this and that. We need about $150. I said, I can't think about tomorrow. Mm-hmm. All I can do is just think about today, and I'm gonna work on tomorrow. And if I get a little bit extra, we'll have some, it'll be all better. Mm-hmm. But it was survival mode, and it was rough. And make a long story short, I fought to the end. Cashed out my retirement. Still end up losing everything because I couldn't get income coming in on a consistent basis. I was getting income, but it wasn't consistent. And with that said, the moment I lost everything was one of the best moments in my life.
Oh, man.
The
we
moment
enjoyed each other, didn't we?
I never owed nobody nothing. Like immediately. I owed them. And I had to pay them later on to get my credit right. But at that time, I didn't realize it was a blessing. That was the first time in my adulthood where I felt, quote, free. And so, like I said, I didn't have no credit. We lost the house. We had to find a good, decent place. We had young girls going to school. And I had to have a place where they had to be safe. So, letter writing is very important. I went to a place, we ended up moving the family. I found a job south of Atlanta, and I would commute back and forth. And then we ended up where we were located, and my credit was trash. But I had saved up enough money for a deposit at a apartment complex, and I wrote a letter to the manager. And I explained to her my situation. I explained to her that I got a solid foundation now as far as the income. And she allowed me with a foreclosure to rent. And I was appreciative of that. It was a gated community. It was nice. They had multiple swimming pools. And my kids felt like we didn't miss a beat.
Right. They had no clue
Never
that
without
anything
food.
was going on.
No, I never was without electricity, never was without water, never was without anything, lights or anything. But we just lost. We just survived. And then from that point on, I said I wanted to get out of GA and get back to Florida, because when I lost everything, I was in GA and Georgia. And it just wasn't friendly for me. I'm not saying nothing wrong with Georgia. It just wasn't a good fit for me.
Yeah, we grew up in Georgia. So.
Yeah, it just wasn't a good fit for me.
And knew we wanted to leave even when we were young.
Yeah, you know, so
yeah.
I didn't know how we was going to get to Florida. I didn't have no money. Still check to check. But I saw this job on the internet because I was constantly searching. And I was making peanuts. When I tell you peanuts, but I was hustling. I was a photographer. I was doing yards. I was washing cars. Anything I could do with my hands and my brain and my mind and my talent, I did. And so ended up where I found a job in Florida. And when I found that job in Florida, it was a medical related job. I had no medical background whatsoever. But I could do that job because I was looking at the description. It was a technician. It was a respiratory technician. And I kept reading through that description and stuff like that, and I just didn't see where it needed to have some type of doctorate or bachelor degree or anything. I'm like, that's a technical job. Working on that equipment, I know I'm good at my hands. I know I can fix things. I just need to know the guidelines and the rules and the standards. So once again, I pulled out my pen and I wrote, was that 3-page? I think I did a 3-page on that one. I did a 3-page letter to the company expressing my interest in the job and expressing my responsibilities in life. And then I also expressed how I knew I was capable of doing that job. I mean, I literally used to work on mainframes for missile command center. I know I can work on a concentrator. I know I can work on suction machine. You know, it's an air compressor. I mean, I can work on it. And so the guy called me from upstate, and he called me, and it's a well-known medical company. It's a big medical company. And he called me and he said, you know, I was moved by your letter, and you emailed me, and you called me, and you found me on LinkedIn, and you found my email address. You know, yeah, I was low-key stalking action because I wanted that job and I wanted to get back to Florida. So he called me and we was on the phone for about 2 hours. And by the time I got off the phone, he said, I want to give you an opportunity, but it's not my decision. He said, you have my blessing, but who you report to, he will be the ultimate decision maker. He gave me his name, He said, I give you his name, I give you his number. I said, can you do me one favor, sir? Can you call him and tell him a little bit about me before I call? And he did that. And when I called him, we stayed on the phone. And he said, I really like you, Rob. I mean, I believe, I'm looking at your capabilities, I believe you can do it, but we have never hired anyone who didn't have any medical background for this position. I mean, that's unheard of. And so I said, well, you're a leader, right? If you're a leader, then sometimes you make some decisions that have never been done. Sometimes innovation comes in the midst of opportunity, right? And so he was like, well, I don't know, because we can't train you. I don't have time. We have training materials. We have all of this. I said, regardless, whoever get this job, they still got to be trained, right? I said, then don't you have some other respiratory techniques? Yeah, but they respiratory therapists, and they switch the roles. I said, okay, exactly. I said, can you let me meet your best respiratory, your most experienced, your best respiratory technician or therapist? And he told me he was down there in Largo, Florida. I won't forget. And he was working the centers. And I said, if he agrees to train me and sign off on me, can I start the job? And he agreed to it, right? And then after that, I went down there and I spent about 2 straight weeks of my own money, my own gas, commute. Now, if y'all from Florida, in Georgia, you understand. I was driving from Largo to Warner Robins, Georgia. That was my commute. I would spend however I could, because I scraped up some change and sold some stuff, and got a cheap hotel, and it was cheap. It wasn't the best place. And it was about 40 minutes from where I was supposed to be at. It wasn't the best place, but I said I was determined. But to make a long story short, he signed off on me in 2 weeks. They signed off on me. Next thing you know, I went to orientation. I had a cell phone. I had my login. I had everything. And thank you, God, I got that job. And that job, I didn't have a place to stay, but I was working at that job. Then a good dear friend. Now, you got to understand, I'm a man full of pride. I tie my own shoes. I wipe my own crack, and I make sure I put on my belt and I tighten it myself, and I button my own shirt. For me to ask somebody, can I please stay with you? And I ain't got no money to give you, but I need some help. And the moment I get a check, I'm gonna give you something. And I had no idea how I was gonna save up money to get my family back down here and to find a place. Because once again, I still got that foreclosure. But Lord is good, God is good.
He'll never fail you.
Never. All you gotta do is try it. And I don't care if it may seem like you can't do it. It may seem like it's not obtainable.
When the
Screw
old
all
folk,
of that.
when the
Screw
old
all
folk
that.
used to say, just try God, baby.
Just step out there, and then
We
when
tried
you
it.
step out there, don't look down. But fast forward. I'm not telling you this
Go
your
ahead.
show.
No. This your show, baby. Go ahead.
But just to make a long story short, I stayed with my friend, and yeah, it was a commute. Good Lord, it was a commute. I'd be about sleep getting to the place, and sometimes I slept in my car. Sometimes I slept on the couch of another friend, but I did what I had to do. And then, lo and behold, I saved, and I got my family back down to Florida. And once again, I had to write me a letter for another apartment. and every single apartment we got was in a good part of town.
Yes.
And excellent schools.
Yes.
Excellent schools.
Yes.
And it was safe, because I was gone all the time, and I had to have my family where they were going to be safe.
And I was taking care of 3 little girls.
Yeah.
So there wasn't no, I was the daycare.
Yep.
There was no daycare option. We couldn't afford it if we wanted to.
But leading back to I did all that to say the 1 acre that we bought. After losing the house, after going through that, the 1 acre we bought, I got a job. No, I forgot. Let's talk about that same job, the respiratory. The contract ended like a year and 2 months.
Ooh.
They told me on the Thursday. On the Thursday, they told me that I was gonna be let go on Friday.
And you were calling that man. You were trying to get that man on the phone anyway because you were pissed. And then you called the man just to find out that you fired anyway. You fired anyway, sir. Your complaints ain't going nowhere.
And so here I am. I'm sitting up here, and I'm like, dang, I gotta start all over. I gotta start all over again, right? So guess what? That Friday, I found a job.
And then he gets on to Facebook. I don't forget stuff like this. So he gets on to Facebook and he was like, just telling like what the issue was, got fired today, and but I ain't worried about it. I have a job in 30 days. And this girl came in and was like, what did she say to you? I don't know, like, you must be a miracle worker or something like that. I can't remember what it was. Because it was horrible.
Still crashed.
It was terrible.
The economy was trash. Wasn't nobody getting no jobs. But make a long story short, I obtained that job. I worked that job, and I was saving like a pat rat.
Two of them. Remember, you had two offers.
Oh, yeah.
Both of those jobs.
I had one at the tire company and then one, I had two offers, all right? And then, so I took the one where it was medical related again. It opened up a field, and I took that job, and I learned how to, work on power chairs, wheelchairs, everything, rehabilitation, equipment, everything. I was trying to learn everything. Every time you get a job,
you better learn.
I learn as much, and anything that's out there, I'm gonna try to get it. But fast forward, wasn't making a lot of money, but I saved and I saved and I saved, and guess what happened? We found a piece of property. It was 1 acre, and I said, we're gonna build a nice little small home, something I can easily afford, and the land was garbage. Yeah. The land was garbage. That's why I got so much to tell. I got so much to tell because here I am thinking I bought a piece of land. I'm finna go slap a little trail or something.
This slope ain't nothing.
Man, this slope ain't nothing. And it was a gully. So
we're gonna have to continue this. We're gonna have to be continued on this.
Gotta get back. Hey, I hear the whip cracking. I gotta get back.
We're gonna have to be continued on this.
This your show.
But thank y'all for coming in real quick with us. We gotta run back down the street and handle some business, but thank you all for coming in. We are going to continue this. We're going to continue this conversation because there's a lot more to the story. Oh my God!
Boy, that like to shake my bowels loose.
There's a whole lot more to this story, so we're gonna have to do a part 2 of this. So thank y'all for coming in, and I'll talk to you guys later, and we'll continue this. All right.